and got like 1.2 million views in like 24 hours. And it was just like, cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. And I was like, whoa.
It's 100% profit. There's literally no cost.
Yeah, it's literally no cogs.
Okay, then let's get started, man. I'm excited for this one because this is definitely going to be a very interesting one with your insane margins. By far the highest margins on this entire channel from any interview ever. So, yeah, I mean, introduce yourself, tell your story.
So my name is William. I'm from the USA, Miami. Basically got started in like e-commerce and like drop shipping last year in like May. Pretty much like just made like the slowest progress, dude. Like the slowest progress for like 5 months. Like the biggest day we ever had, we had like 3 sales in 3 days and we were like ecstatic. We're like, oh my God, we got a winner. Yeah, like it was super slow. And then in like October of 2022, I got taken advantage of at my job by my managers who wanted to like save their own skin. And they fired me and blackballed me from the industry I was working in.
Mhm.
And I remember like after that had like happened, I went to like a PF Chang's with like my girlfriend at the time. And I was like, okay, well, I have nothing to go back to. Even she was kind of like, it was about time you had left that like dumb job anyway. Like you're clearly like a lot more advanced at stuff. You should like do something bigger. And so I was like trying to think forward. I was like, okay, let me go into real estate because I have a buddy in real estate and let me do that instead. And it'll be blah, blah, blah. And I literally spent like a month and like spent all the money and everything, like got the pre-license. And I was basically all set up. Like all I had to do was take the test and I was going to be a real estate agent. I got to like that point and then I had a moment where I was like, dude, this is going to be the exact same thing as like drop shipping. It's entrepreneurship, but it's still like a slave job. Like I'm going to have all the risk of an entrepreneur, but it's still a job. I still have a boss. I still have to pay dues to the brand.
Yeah.
I was like, and I don't even like talking to people over the phone. Like I don't even like managing relationships like that. So I was like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna. I told my friend and I told my girl at the time. I was like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna do drop shipping. Like I have 5 months into this. It's gonna be the same journey. Let me just go full on this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I spent the entire month of December literally just cramming. Like I bought some courses, watched like every YouTube video like ever. And I was like working out this theory because I had done like trading before anything like online. And I was like, oh, money moves like water. So I think you can kind of track where like demand is with like Google SEO charts and stuff. And so I came up with theory like, oh, okay, there's like going to be a spike for Valentine's Day. Let me sell Valentine's products. So I spent all of December like trying to figure out what would be a good product to sell with my buddy. And in January, we had a product that like popped off and it did like $25,000 in sales, which was like crazy. Like that was, dude, it was like 700 orders. The most we'd ever had was like 3.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it was Chinese New Year's as well. And so the guy that I kind of had like as a coach at the time was like, oh, there's nothing you guys can do. You guys just have to like chill out and wait. And we're like, dude, we can't wait. Like, this is our moment. We're about to get rich. So we like did super unorthodox stuff. We were like, we couldn't like, we ran out of suppliers in China. So we started like selling the product off of eBay, Amazon, like anything to keep it working. And at the same time, my girlfriend at the time decided to leave. And so I was like, it was like a huge crash. It was like, we made it through. We made all the money. We had like, I think $4,000 in profit. And then like everything just like shut off. Like the whole thing, just like no more money coming in, ads stopped working. And I was like, okay, I'm getting punished. What did I do? And so I spent basically up until like May after like February, just like trying to recreate the spark, figure out what happened. And somewhere in between there is when I first saw like some of your videos and stuff. I don't know if it came from like Mikey first or I saw you first, but like I saw some of the videos. Mm-hmm. And I remember, dude, this is how crazy some of your videos are. I knew you were like super legit when like I saw this, I heard your personal story, right? Of your drop shipping and how like you had like a moment basically like us, like, oh, I figured it out. And you thought you knew everything. And then you lost all the money, which is exactly what happened to me. And then on top of that, dude, you did like a video and you were like, oh, you think because you sold some rose for Valentine's, you know everything about drop shipping. I was like, dude, what the heck? He's like talking directly to me. And so yeah. And then basically we tried again up until May. We kind of had like some things pop off, but it was like break even. And then we lost all the money, right? And then at the same time, dude, like Mikey drops a video with like on your channel and his channel, and he's like, "Hey guys, I made $60,000 drop shipping with my mentor, Michael Bernstein." And I was like, dude, like I told my friend, I was like, bro, we've been full time in drop shipping like he is for the exact same time period. And he's at 60K and we're like about to go broke. Like we got to change something up. Something's not working. I showed him your videos and stuff and I convinced him, dude, let's spend what money we have left on like getting in this thing. And I was like, dude, I know like if we get in there, like we'll be better off. Yeah, I went through the whole process. I talked to like I think first, and then I talked to we got in. I was able to bring my friend, and yeah, we got into the course. And then this is how like wild this whole like product is, right? I guess to sort of like reveal what it is, right? Like it's a digital product, it's for games, right? And I was just like, it was just like a personal hobby of mine because the niche that it's in, I'm a huge consumer of that niche. Like easily like over 10,000 hours like spent consuming anything in that niche, bro. Like
Mhm.
I know the whole niche
For this specific game, you mean?
for this specific, well, even like beyond just the
Just game in
specific game,
general.
like
Yeah.
yeah, like in the certain niche of the gaming niche. I was just playing around with like a file on my computer because I wanted to make my game cooler. And so I was messing with it and then I made something like I was like tweaking things and then I was like, "Oh my God, this looks so cool." And so I showed my friend and my friend was like, "Wow, yeah, that does look really cool." And that was it. Like I was just spending time then like learning your courses. And then just randomly cuz I'm the kind of person that doesn't kind of like to like sit around and wait. And like we were still kind of going through like the product research stuff. And so I was like, let me just throw this up on TikTok and like see what happens. No, no store, nothing, no like sales plan, just like let me throw it on and see what happens. And so I did that. And within like 4 or 5 days, I had a video pop off and it went to like 200K, 200K views and like 60,000 likes or something like that. And so I was like, whoa, okay, cool. Like maybe I could sell this. Maybe I can monetize this. I didn't know how to monetize it. So I like hit up Jacob and I was like, hey, like I kind of have this like weird product. I kind of just want to talk to like an expert who's like in e-commerce and like figure out how to monetize it. And he's like, okay, like what exactly are you selling? And I was like, it's kind of hard to explain. And so I did a call with him. I showed him what I was up to, and he was like, "Oh, dude, like this is perfect, but like your store sucks." Because like I didn't even know how to monetize it, dude. I didn't even put it up on Shopify first. I put it on like a freaking like donation thing because I was like, I think people would be weirded out if I sell it here because like this product that I'm selling, not very many people have ever like sold it. Like this is kind of like new. So he's like, dude, throw it up on Shopify and just like keep posting and see what happens. And then funny enough, me and my friend, we had like a meeting set up with you that we were gonna do anyway to like introduce ourselves. And I guess because I did the call with Jacob and the product was weird, he told you ahead of time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so the first thing you said to us was like, "Oh, are you the like digital product guy?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah." I didn't even know if it was gonna work. Like I had just thrown it up on a store, and I think at that point it had only like 13 sales or something at like $5. So yeah, we did the meeting, and then we were just like doing like regular drop shipping and like testing out different products. I even have still like some of the products back here in the background. I just kept tweaking with it. Like I was still working on the store and like the digital product, and it was making me maybe like $200 a week ish, which is nothing crazy, right? But like I was making no money. I'm burning cash like every single day. At least like it's slowing like the bleeding. And so I kept tweaking with it and like tweaking the product and like playing around with the videos. And then I had a video that popped off and got like 1.2 million views in like 24 hours. And it was just like cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. And I was like, whoa, holy cow. Like that was crazy. I mean, this has happened like so insanely fast. Like it was like $2,000 in like a few
Let's go to
days.
Shopify. Maybe you can share your screen and go through the numbers there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So literally like this is like in the last few days. It was, it was doing maybe like some money here, some money there. And then right about here, I had like a viral video pop off. It's like 300, $1,100, like super exploded. Like literally like 2 days later, I had another video pop off and it was even more controversial and it got like 2 million in 24 hours and that one like exploded. And dude, literally within like the span of like a couple of weeks, it like went from like making a couple $100 here or there to like almost 10K.
And again, bear in mind, it's 100% profit. There's literally no cost.
Yeah, it's literally no cogs, no ad costs. It's just whatever. It's literally just like Shopify fees and PayPal fees. That's it. Yeah, dude. I mean, this has been pretty surreal. It was funny enough. Like dude, before I even joined this course and stuff, I would always like kind of like think to myself or like imagine like, oh, one of these days I'm gonna be like, I'll be on his case study thing one day. I had no idea it was gonna be something like weird like this. So yeah, dude, this has been pretty crazy, pretty unreal.
Yeah, yeah. No, amazing, man. Amazing. First of all, congrats on the success. You definitely did like a really good job with like picking a product which you are passionate about. Because for the last like 2.5 years, I've been constantly preaching to not care about passion, but with organic, it changed. Since we do this whole organic thing, you actually have an advantage while being passionate in a specific niche. If you're super big and you're super in the gym, into the gym, it's going to be easier for you to make gym products. If you're a gamer and you know the games, you know what the problems are in the specific niche, and you also have like a nice setup, for example, like a gaming PC or whatever, it's going to be much easier to make the videos for that. If you, for example, have like experience in specific games and you know what makes that game better, and you basically sell a digital product for that, that makes sense. So here it's the very first time, and we also put like we ask people that when they join the program, hey, is there anything which you're actually super good at? If you're like, we had like professional like athletes joining, professional like football players and stuff like that, tell that. Don't forget about gaming, forget about anything, just do only that, because they're obviously going to have like a crazy advantage there. For you, what was the main kind of learnings you had throughout the program?
One of the big things was like basically like the confidence, right? Like that's what we were really looking for was like I even told Benjamin this. I was like, it's invaluable to me to have somebody over my shoulder telling me like, hey, this is what you're doing wrong, this is what you're doing right. Like that kind of stuff, it helps out. Like just to be like in the text chats, like if we do a video or if we like test a product or we give you guys like a list of products for somebody who already has experience to tell you, here's what's good. Because especially with organic, you don't see results straight up off the bat, so you're kind of like just like throwing darts into like the air without really knowing what's going to happen. And if you have like no experience, it makes sense why like a lot of kids like they'll stop after like 3 or 5 videos. It's like nothing's happening, let me do
Yeah,
something else. But it's like
yeah.
you got to push through that, and unless you
Mhm.
have like the confidence behind you to do that, nothing happens, right?
Yeah,
And there were
yeah.
little things too as well, like the product research tab, and like that was really helpful to like really like have a science down to like what you choose, not just like I feel like this will work based on like
hmm
blah 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 blah.
hmm hmm 100%, 100%. What you just said right there, when in the beginning, I think it's very, very valid. Where you stop doing a strategy or stop doing something because you're not sure if it's going in the right direction. Even if you right now would not see all of the success, you would still do exactly what you're doing. Like nothing would have changed because you ask us and we tell you, all right, you're going in the right direction. Don't worry, you're doing a good job. Whenever you don't have a person managing the things you're doing, you're always gonna have this like thought in the back of your mind, should I even do this, or should I am I completely missing here something? Because even the best strategy takes time until it works. And in that time period in between, you're going to feel lost. You're not going to know if you're going in the right or completely wrong direction. There's no way how you can know. That's the main problem. But for you, how long did it actually take to go viral from the first post till it went viral?
The first post I had go viral literally was like within 5 days. Like
Yeah.
that was what made Jacob give like, because I asked Jacob, especially after like I was only doing like a couple $100 a week. I was like, do you think I should even still like do this? Like, is this kind of like whatever? And he was like, slow down the videos, but like keep posting, like keep trying.
Mhm.
Because he was like, your account, like I remember when the first call I had, he's like, dude, this account blew up really fast and you're getting a lot of traction. You have something that's going here, like keep pushing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even like, dude, even yesterday when I talked to you, right, over the phone, dude, like my mindset around this up until that point has been like, okay, this is cool, but like this is gonna die out like any second. Like, let me like I've been like pushing other drop shipping products as well, just out of like experience, right? Like I
Mhm.
know what it
Mhm.
feels like to go from like up here to like nothing. And then like you told me like, no, like you have something kind of like going here and like you should up the production of it. And then I started like thinking of a bunch of different things like, oh, like I could do like YouTube with this. I could push it on YouTube. I can push it on different games. I can push it with different audiences. And like the niche is, it's like, dude, there's a
Yes.
pool here. There's a huge pool here. And like without having like some people to bounce those ideas off,
Mhm.
like, dude, I was about to be like, okay, I'm gonna side project this now. It's like, no, this is
That's
the main project.
exactly, exactly. And basically, what's like, I'm 100% convinced in what your main kind of process should be like and what your priorities are. should be horizontally scaling this product, like having multiple accounts where you test either this or similar product. But this niche is amazing. Like I'm thinking about it more and more. With those margins, you just need to go viral and convert. And basically that's that. You make everything in profit. So yeah, it's a huge advantage, and you should like double down on that versus doing anything else. Currently, how much time are you spending on all of this?
Probably like at least 8 hours a day. Majority of that is just like scripting and making videos. Yeah, majority of that is like videos and stuff. And then for up till now, like some of that has been like customer support, because like it is a digital product that like you have, it's almost like software. So you'll have occasionally like kids and stuff like that that are like, it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And you have to like go in and help them and stuff like that. It's also a bit of an advantage for me too, right? Because like I'm super involved with like this niche. I also like care about the audience, right? So I also know how to like talk to them. I know kind of like the errors that they're gonna have and stuff. And dude, like a majority of the people that have bought from my store like are super happy. Like they're super pleased. Most of the emails I get are pretty like chill, and like people are like, "Oh, thank you so much. I'm a huge fan of this. Like you really like improve the product," which is, it feels good for me, right? Like it's
Mhm.
not like some product that I'm just like, I don't know what this does here, sell it, give
Yep.
me cash,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like I actually have involvement with the product. And like the weirdest thing to me, dude, was like, dude, I made this on my computer. Like this is something I made, and like it's selling. This is a little bit of like an interesting story. Like I went, like I've been on broke mode basically since like I got like
You
fired,
should
right?
stay there, by the way.
No,
Don't
yeah,
get
I
too
haven't
comfortable.
I haven't switched out yet. But like I was basically like reusing like razors, right? Like I literally did not spend money on anything other than like food.
Mhm.
And so finally I was like, okay, let me go to like Walgreens near me and like buy some razors. And I like bought like $10 worth of razors. And I was like, dude, this little like file on my computer for this game just bought me these razors. I was like, that's crazy, dude. Like I'm sitting here, I'm like paying for it, and my phone buzzes and some kid bought it. I'm like, dude, that just bought me these razors. Like it's insane. It's so weird, dude. It's surreal.
Yes, yes. Like whenever you start seeing those numbers and you actually put them in perspective, it starts to get insane. Like when you understand now, you made like in 1.5 weeks or so 8K, which is literally like 3 months salary for
Dude, it was
most
like one
people.
third of the money I would make annually, like at my old job. It was literally
Yeah,
one third.
yeah. And if you do things right, if you keep pushing exactly like you are right now, I don't see a reason why it should go down. Like I genuinely don't. And it should only go up from here, especially if you actually double down on this niche and you go all that. Definitely one mistake I saw you doing is the whole not upselling thing. And that's why I kind of like what I was also trashing about the product in the store, like on all the calls is basically that sometimes when you have a huge margin, it feels like you already have a perfect margin where you don't have to improve anything. When in reality, you're still losing out on money because your AOV and stuff like that is not optimized specifically for a digital product. You can make the huge, like the biggest bundle ever and give the craziest discount. You still are profitable because there's zero cost. And this is again something which is a huge advantage, and you basically should like take that advantage and no, not just take it for granted. Like right now, you should be split testing every single day, like insane amounts of things, just to make sure that everything is optimized on the back end, and that's what we're working on right now. But yeah, like for you, how did the whole like already now? How did the whole bundle thing affect the store?
We can take a look. So I put it all up. Like I got the add-ons you recommended yesterday. So I guess we can do
If it's only
today and
yesterday, it's
yesterday.
probably not. Well, let's see. I don't see your screen, but let's see.
It's probably not
Have
going to be
any
anything
crazy
crazy. I
things?
mean, right now it's at 1437.
Mhm,
Basically I did what you said, and I put upsells like all throughout the website, basically for like a complete bundle kind of thing.
mhm, mhm,
And yeah, I mean, basically, like it's a great idea, like the real discount, like
mhm.
show it on the front end like 30 or like $60, which is already like crazy margin. And then just literally like you can reduce it to $5 and it's still going to be better than like the base price. Like you're still going to make some
Yes.
cash.
So yeah, basically having true discounts is huge. Whenever a person gets a price, and that's the actual offer, let's say $20 for the product, and they decline, and then they get a new offer, which is $10, like they're 100% convinced this is real. It actually costs 20, I'm getting 50% off. This means that if you go down throughout the whole funnel, everything changes because so many more people take it, and they're like, wait, it was 20, now it's 5. All right, it just makes sense. It's nothing. And basically, the perceived value just goes up. And guess what? The product cost is still zero, so nothing changes. And yeah, basically, it's something which even without this whole zero product cost thing should be done because you definitely You can also do that with cheaper items where you just start higher than what you normally should, and make money in the post-purchase upsell instead of on the product, like on the product page itself. For you, like how does it feel now? How does it feel now to actually start seeing legit numbers?
Like I said, it is surreal. Like it was literally a file on my computer that I was playing around with that was literally just for me. Like I personally enjoyed it and I was like, okay, this is cool. Dude, like I mean, it's unreal. Like I said, like buying any of this stuff and I'm just like this dumb little file on my computer, like I made it over like some time. And I'm selling it and I'm just making like videos on like off my computer and people are giving me cash for it. And it's more cash than I would make doing like, hard ass job or like bartending or anything like that. I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
God, this is ridiculous.
Mhm.
And then like, yeah, after I talk with you, I'm like, dude, the potential here could be insane. I mean, I've already kind of like talked with my buddy. I'm like, we could probably very realistically sell like 15,000 units in a year. Just like the active player base of some of these games is like already way above 15,000. And I'm like, I know this is a pretty like decent product for those guys. And I'm like, I even know like all the niche areas. Like I definitely gonna keep doing it on TikTok, but I know like the influencers that are on YouTube. I know the discords that these kids like hang out in, and I could very easily just go in there and be like, yo, look at this, what the heck, this guy, is this the same game or whatever, and just plug the video, and there's like hundreds of people in there too, so it's like endless pockets of the audience that I could potentially sell to. It's unreal.
100%. And the main thing right now is just going to be the ability to source digital products like you have right now, just for other games. Because even though you're thinking about the entire pool of active players, you cannot think like I wouldn't think like that. I would definitely start thinking about you taking a small percentage of those active players. So if 15K people play that, you're not going to sell 15K. And basically, you need to be thinking, all right, how do I actually get into other games? Because then I'm in a huge niche, which is actually very scalable. And what you also need to think about is how to upsell the ones which did buy one thing from you. Because again, you have multiple offers and you should be bombarding them with everything, especially in your niche. I feel it makes sense, like to do like a lot of retargeting for that. So number one, you can start doing ads, retargeting the people who were on your site or even who already bought with a bundle or an extra thing, and also doing the same thing with email marketing, etc. Because I do feel like we need to take the most value out of each customer there. For you, what was the kind of the experience generally working with us?
When we first got into the course, I guess it was like a bit of a weird time because like we didn't talk to you immediately. So we're like, okay, that was kind of odd. And then you did like a group call, but then like everybody else for the group calls like didn't show up. And I was like, whoa, what is this? Like, are we getting scammed? Then like everything like settled in. And then like, yeah, dude, like this is a great program that you have. Like really, this is a really like I've been through different courses. I did Hustlers University. I did some other niche guys. But yeah, this is a pretty unique. There's nobody that's really like offering one-on-one mentorship. There's nobody who like, yeah, here's a WhatsApp with like 6 experts. Each one is like an expert in every like tiny little niche of like this whole thing. Text him or text her if you have X, Y, and Z problem, and they will literally give
Yeah,
you an expert opinion. I don't know anybody else who's doing this on the
yeah,
market right now.
yeah. And I mean, look, the in the end of the day, the results are the main thing which drives us here, because the money we make in the back end is the goal always, And I understand you start making a shit ton of money with this program, you're going to get into the next one. It's pretty simple. So, yeah, for you, what would you say were kind of generally the biggest obstacles when dropshipping? What were the biggest problems you faced?
Drop shipping is definitely not easy, like at all. It's not like you can kind of just like come on here and do it as like a side project and like throw some ads up and make money. Like it's so many different skills you need to learn. And like not just like online skills, even like some of them are like personable or like real hard. Like you can take this to like brick and mortar entrepreneur skills. I like to look at this like I spent like 9 months basically like bleeding money, like in the red, 100%.
Mhm.
Finally
Mhm.
got out, right? This is like the first month where it's like, okay, positive. I have like some expenses paid off for a little bit. I can keep
Yeah.
playing. And like, yeah, when I look back on it, like 9 months, I think that honestly, that's a pretty fast entrepreneurship journey. Like from like a lot of the guys that I've seen, like some of them took like 2 years to finally like crack it. So, but like, dude, when you're in it, it's really, it is very stressful and it is very hard. Like anybody who wants to get into this, it's not like a cakewalk, or it's not like you can't do this as a side hustle, dude. Like before I lost my job, I was doing this as like a side hustle and the progress was immensely slow. like
Mhm.
super slow. Then I do it full time, right? For like a 6 month stretch from like January till like now. And even still, like it took me a while to figure it out and like finally get something rolling. Unless you're like hardcore focusing and like when you're in it, dude, like I remember at one point, this was right before we joined your course. This is what I like kind of like used with my friend to like convince him. I was like, dude, we could be stuck here forever. We could literally be just like losing money and losing money and losing money. And we think like just we're just over the like just over the other side. It's like that's where the goal is. Dude, we could be here forever. Like you never know when this is gonna end. And you never know when you're gonna crack it. So yeah, it's definitely anybody wants to get into it. It's not this like cool thing on the internet that's just making everybody money. It's not. It's really hard.
Yeah, with that part, I 100% agree. With the other part, don't really agree, which is basically you not being able to do it full time. Like you have to do it full time to be able to make something like this, because we have like a bunch of people who only, and you're more of an exception for doing this full time and then making it work, because normally people have a job, they make it work, they quit their job, and then they do it full time. This is kind of more of a regular journey because most people don't really go all in before seeing proper results. It's not like a normal thing to do overall, and it does work. Okay, so that's just like a thing. If you streamline the to dos onto a couple of hours, that's fine, because you need to understand what the main things you like. What is the thing which actually will make you money? And if you work for 8 hours, in a lot of the cases, and I'm sure you did this in the beginning as well, where you work for 8 hours, in reality, you had like max 30 minutes, which were really productive. The rest was kind of bullshit, like things which feel productive. You design this, you do this, you do that, but it's not really actually making you money. And if you only focus on those things, a couple, like I would say for organic specifically, 3 hours is the minimum, but that's enough. You like the bare minimum is 3 hours. You need to have that. Everything below that is, I would say, actually agree with you. It's not really doable. But if you have 3 hours per day and want to do organic, it is doable. And we have a bunch of people making it work like that. How, like you said, you just took a couple of days actually to go viral with organic. How many videos did you post until you actually started seeing like the 1K days or whatever?
Like until 1K days,
Mhm.
man, that was probably like it was probably like 30 or something. Like
30
it the
videos?
prog yeah, it probably was like about like 30 videos or more. It would like it was a lot of like feedback stuff. Like I would post something, I would kind of like watch how it does and like how the audience reacted. And of course, like the sales. And then I would just kind of like tweak stuff, like tweak the video or even like tweak the product because I have access to that, right? Because it's my product, it's on my computer. I
Hmm.
can tweak it and based on what the audience is telling me. It wasn't even like small tweaks to the product. It was honestly a big tweak. Like, and it was based off of just like playing around with this. I saw an idea and I connected it and I was like, oh, that would look like, it was just like, oh, that would look so cool. And so I did it and I was like, this looks amazing. And so I was like, I got to post this. The first video I posted, it flopped, right? And this is how, like, it's just all about like testing and tweaking stuff. Like the first video I posted, I tried like some controversy and a hook that worked previously for me and it flopped. And I was like, okay, this probably flopped because like my audience is burned on it. Like even people in the comments were saying like, we know this is like a gimmick or whatever. And so I was like, okay, let me try this other type of video. It was like perfect, dude. That video, I like if I ever like go back to work or like I want to showcase like my work, that's gonna be one of the videos I use. It was like the hook was just like perfect and it was like a super like showcasey like style thing. And it was like I remember the hook was like, this is the most realistic game you've never played, and it's 10 years old. And instantly, dude, like that video got like 200,000 plus likes and like boom. Then like I posted a few more videos that kind of did okay. And then I was like, okay, so I did basically like education, right? Like I did a showcase. Let me try controversy. And so there was this other game community that was interacting with the videos that I knew was like super passionate. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to poke the bear. And so in the next video I did, the introduction hook was so people are dumping this game to play this other game that's 10 years old. And they got so like fired up. And funny enough, the likes on the video were also insanely high. Like it got 200 plus thousand likes in like less than 24 hours. And but like it worked. And so yeah, I just kept playing around with ideas and different video styles. And before I joined your program and stuff, I was already like making videos all the time. So like I've kind of warmed up to that. I just needed like
Hmm.
help like focusing where it needs to go and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
also the confidence to do it.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, for sure. What would you recommend a complete beginner starting dropshipping right now? What's the main things they need to do?
I highly recommend what you said. Don't leave your job. I was forced into that position and it was definitely very stressful. But I got like I remember I got to the point where I was trying to like get some other jobs once I like joined your program because you recommended it.
Yeah.
And I was pulling up dude, I drove like 45 to an hour to this job interview. And as soon as I got to the place, I sat in my car and I was like, I just have a gut feeling I don't want to do this. I want to keep going. Like I don't want to go back to doing any of that stuff anymore. And so I drove back home literally and just I was like, I'm just gonna make this work. I still have some money, I'm gonna make this work. So I mean, definitely like perseverance is a big thing. You want to start drop shipping, I definitely take a look at yourself and make sure that you want to dive into this for real because you can't focus on multiple stuff. You do have to kind of like you can and I don't mean like you have to do this full time, you have to leave your job. I mean like you can't be like focusing on three different side hustles or whatever and like bouncing into different things. Like you have to
Mhm.
like invest in one and then it grows from there because each one is virtually the same. Like you're gonna have to put the same amount of time into it to make it work. It's just which one you prefer most, you know? Yeah, definitely take a good hard look at yourself and understand like entrepreneurship. I really like this. And like I'm a fan of like Alex Hermosi and all these different types of guys. And they say it too. And I really do believe this. It's like entrepreneurship really is the pursuit of making yourself a better individual. Your business is a reflection of you in some ways. And when you are a flawed person, you're also going to have like a flawed business, right? And like you'll see it. It very quickly will like teach you like what you're missing very, very quickly. Like if you're, scamming people or stuff like that, it's going to reflect. If you're lazy or disorganized, it's going to reflect in the way your fulfillment is. So yeah, it's definitely a life pursuit. It's not a yeah, yes, you can do it as like a side hustle and
I
that kind of
understand what
thing,
you mean.
but yeah,
The main point is you will be thinking about it all the time. For me, I am thinking about business literally 12 hours a day for 100%. Like if I'm with my friends, with my brother, my like, girlfriend, like I'm actually thinking about business all the time. And I'm talking about it all the time as well because it's one of those like it's literally a thing which I love and it's almost a hobby which is just making me a shit ton of money. It's basically that where I am lucky that that's something which does interest me, and I feel like it's one of the most productive hobbies you can have. So yeah, but I also want to go back to the point you just made, which is I told you to go to a job, which I will always recommend to people which don't show me a proven track record of success with ecom. Like I would still say this even now, looking back, I would still say the same thing because on average, if a person asks me, "Hey, so far I didn't make any money with ecom. Should I do this full time or should I have a job and on the side I should be doing ecom?" Every single time my answer is going to be the same. Go and do a job. That's it. Like for sure, go to a job. Don't even consider not doing it because the risk is way too high and you're like, you have a couple of thousand just as a backup every month coming in. And that's something you should be having. That's the advice I give. For me, it was a similar thing. I was doing 1 year full-time dropshipping without having a job, without having anything. It didn't work. But still, that would be my recommendation to most people in the beginning. And if I cannot tell yet that you're a person who's going to execute like crazy, that's always going to be the same. Like that's going to be the answer. But yeah, I really appreciate the interview, man. If anybody else watching this right now is interested in joining as well, you can click the link below, sign up for a call. We're going to find out if everything is a good fit. If yes, we're going to start. No, they're not. And basically, this program is specifically going to be like we have another part of the program, which is Facebook, but I assume the people who watch this till the end are more interested in TikTok. So this part is going to be specifically for TikTok organic, where we're just going to guide you through how to go viral, how to convert, how to build all the backends in terms of store, how to replicate the entire thing, and then later on how to hire people to do the same thing for you. If you're interested, click the link below. And yeah, appreciate the interview. I'm very excited to maybe do like an update a few months later and see how things went. But I'm sure it's going to just go up from here.
that's definitely the next goal. Absolutely.
Yeah.